Pumphery.
My man.
I can't believe this.
How you been?
Super TV star, handsome, everything. Really good. We like your, we were talking about earlier, the Illinois State tournament. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of competitors.
But what have you been up to lately?
You know, honestly, I've just been kind of laying low. I do, a little bit of working out here and there. Occasionally jump in to a tournament here and there. Nothing major. Just laying low.
Keep it real. Well, we're doing these interviews just to kind of let everyone get to know us caliber guys, and you, of course, Craig, silverback, Pumphery. But we'd like to get the basics from you, like your height, weight, and age.
6'4", 320-ish. Just turned 50 years old at the end of January. There you go. I'm an old dude.
Well, where are you from?
From New Albany.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. So, this is kind of a dumb question, but you're pro or are you amateur?
Pro.
Pro. How long have you been pro?
I've been pro since I was probably 16.
16.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the day, I was Mike West. Mike West trained me.
Right.
And I traveled with Mike West. We went, I can't even begin to count how many tournaments that we went to, and I got state titles and pulled everywhere, pulled a little bit of everybody, but then what ended up happening was I couldn't afford to keep going to these tournaments. I couldn't afford to keep paying to go. A lot of people don't understand that. I mean, if you travel 4 hours or so away, well, that's about $600 to $800.
Right.
So what ended up happening was, since I couldn't really afford to keep doing it, I retired from it. I ended up getting a job in law enforcement. I was a cop for 20 years. Never pulled, never trained, never did anything.
Right. Take a break.
And here I am.
Well, what got you back into arm wrestling?
Well, basically what happened is my son Xander, he likes to arm wrestle. At the time he's 17, and he wants to go to an arm wrestling. And he's been practicing, not with me.
No.
He's been practicing with friends of his.
Right.
I didn't even know he was into arm wrestling, right?
Dads can't tell their kids anything.
I know, he never told me nothing. I didn't know he was into it. So he said, Dad, I want to go to a really good tournament. And I said, there's one coming up. It's Illinois State. I'll take you up there. So we all went, my wife, his girlfriend, we all went to Illinois State. And he says, Dad, while you're here, you might as well just go ahead and get in it.
Yes.
I said, man, I haven't pulled in 20 years. I retired from the sport. And he said, I'll go ahead and get in it. So I went up there to the registry and all this stuff, and they're like, well, what division do you want to enter? And of course, things have changed.
Right.
Since I've been in the game. I said, well, I'm going to pull pro. And they said, okay, how old are you? And at the time, I was 48 years old. Yeah. And they said, well, do you want to pull masters? And I said, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Put me in there.
So I ended up pulling everybody in that class, and I beat everybody and walked away with gold, and then I never did nothing after that. Right. So the very next year, he wanted to go again. I took him up there. Keep in mind, I haven't trained, I haven't arm wrestled. That was the last time I was on the table. We went back up there. This was in 23.
Yeah.
It was early part of 23. And here's where everything changed.
Yeah.
He said, I wasn't going to enter it. He said, Dad, you ought to go ahead and enter it. And I said, oh, come on, man. Really? He said, go ahead, get in it. Wow. I got in it. My first match was against a guy named Pablo.
Okay.
I don't know who Pablo is. I do now.
We know now. Right.
I didn't know who he was.
Right.
He was my first match. And my son, he goes, they called Pablo, and then they called me, and my son goes, oh my God, Dad, you got Pablo. I went, and I get up, and I'm getting ready to walk off, and I go, is that bad or good?
Right.
He said, good luck.
Right.
I ended up pulling Pablo. I beat him. And then that put me in the winner's bracket. That put him in the B side. And then he ended up pulling a couple people. I pulled a couple people. And then it was me and Pablo again.
There we go.
I had to beat him one more time. He ended up pinning me. He gets. Now keep in mind, I ain't pulled him forever.
Right.
At that point, when he beat me on that second time that we matched up, I was dead. My arm was already done. It was done. We ended up pulling for because he had to beat me twice.
Is that right hand?
Right hand. Right-handed. But man, it was already gone.
What do you feel like you're better at, right or left hand?
I'm dominant right hand.
Right. So you are right hand.
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
Second time we went, I took his hand from him, rolled him out, we slipped, we went to a strap. I think in my entire lifetime I might have been in a strap twice.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know nothing about strap.
Well, speaking of that, what do you prefer, like in a match? If you had your leg, would you top roll, would you hook, would you press?
Well, see, that's the thing. Everybody thinks that I am just a top roller.
That's just what your bread and butter.
I'm a top roller because when I grab someone's hand and when I start to pull back, I can feel their hand bend back.
Oh yeah?
So when they say go, I instantly start pulling back and then their hand goes whoop, and then I end up taking them over. So a lot of my matches have been top roll. Although I can do top roll, I can do hook, I can press, I can do all these. I don't, unless if I get in a strong match.
Right.
You'll see me work all of those angles if I get in quick work. Like when I pulled Carl Stanley, he has an incredible hard press. And to stop that, I had to roll him out instantly. And then there was a couple times when he ended up, I went hook and tried to roll him over, and then he started pressing again. And I had to just hold him,
wear him out,
to get him tired. So
yeah.
top roll's my bread and butter because that's where people end up, but I can do just about anything.
Now we were talking about Mike West earlier in training. How often do you train?
Well, since I got back into it, whenever Mike has training over at his house on Saturdays, I'll go over there. You know, there's been a few Saturdays that I just can't make it or whatever.
So specifically, I see you here on Tuesdays also. So I mean, are you doing about twice a week for arm wrestling training, or
No.
not even? Average about once a week.
Once a week? You know? Look.
What about any other training, like weightlifting?
I do weightlifting.
Okay,
I do weightlifting. I try to get some of them arm wrestling exercises in there and stuff. And you know, that's like, you know, here I am with you guys today, Tuesday night. I was with Mike Saturday. You know, already I can feel that burn going on. You know, so usually once a week, twice maybe.
You're so accomplished already at the sport. You've done just about everything. And I'm asking these guys, like, what they want to accomplish with the sport. You're already kind of at the top, but is it like money? Is it ranking? Or you just want to collect trophies? You just want to have fun? Or more time with your son?
Well, you know, for me, it's a little different, I guess.
Yeah.
I had no ambitions on doing anything in arm wrestling ever again, but since I'm back in it, you know, most guys who arm wrestle, they want to get on that top 20 list.
Yeah.
To get on that top 20 list is really difficult.
Yeah.
You got to beat some really powerful, popular people. When I went to Monster Factory 5, I was not even ranked. Nobody knew who I was. I beat Pablo. I ended up pulling out a win on Sonny Gay. He's a beast.
Yeah, Sonny Gay's
He's a
know
beast.
him. Yeah.
You know, I beat several other guys that are on that, you know, up almost at that top.
Higher echelon.
Oh, they're good, yeah. So then what happened was, and I have to give a shout out to Sonny Gay. This shows you how humble the man is.
Yeah.
I ended up beating him at the Kentucky State. I won the Kentucky State tournament.
Yeah.
He calls up Michael Todd because he was just at Monster Factory 4, I believe it was. And he called up Michael Todd and he goes, man, you gotta look this guy up. His name's Craig Pumphery, and he just slammed me like that, like I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So Michael Todd starts looking me up.
Yeah. Sonny's a badass.
Sonny's a beast, man. The dude's, he's a big boy. He's like 6'5", 300 plus pounds.
Right.
He's no joke.
No, he's very intimidating.
But a super humble guy.
Oh, very nice.
I mean, humble guy.
Right.
I mean, it's hard for
Very
most
nice.
people to imagine that you're on that top 20, man. And you get some nobody. And I admit, I look old. My white beard, my white hair. Everybody looks at me like I'm an old man. And then this old man comes in and
your favorite.
yeah, and then this old man comes in and beats you. And what's he do?
That's right.
He calls up Michael Todd.
He calls Michael Todd and gives you the green light, gives you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
So Sonny is just, man, he's just a good guy. I've got nothing but utmost respect for him. And then when I ended up getting invited to the Monster Factory, they put me against the number 15th in the nation, Carl Stanley, for a super match, best out of 5. He pins me on the first one, and then the next 3 just took him out. And then I got ranked 15th. I'm currently ranked 15th.
That's awesome.
Like I said, most guys, they want to get on that top 20 list.
Yeah.
After you get on that top 20 list, the next step is to get on one of those big prestigious super match tournaments.
Yeah.
King of the table,
Right.
Get into Eastern versus West qualifier, win one if you can, or get invited. That's hard to do.
I'm glad you brought this up because that was my next question is what's the favorite tournament that you have been to or that you want to go to?
I'll tell you, I would like I said, the next step for me is I would like to be invited to one of those bigger tournaments. I don't know how well I would do. I just know that I've went against some popular people. I beat them. It's one of those things, I don't know how good I am. I just know that when the pressure is on, most people crumble. I seem to excel. The more pressure that's put on the match, the more prestigious it is, the better I become. So that's just the way it's been for my whole life and all the other things that I've done in my
I
life.
believe you. 100% believe you. Well, thanks for taking the time, Craig.
Thanks for having me.
Gentleman and a scholar. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Let's go have some fun. Let's go arm wrestle.
Let's do it.